Hello, the topic for today is present perfect simple and some workbook exercises. First of all, let's see how to form the present perfect simple. We form this tense with the auxiliary verb have and the past participle of the verb. For regular verbs, the past participle is the same as the past simple. In the affirmative, look at the conjugation of the verb see. I, you, we have seen her or have the contracted form. Mind the irregular form of the verb have in the third person singular, that is, has. In the negative, we put the negative particle not, and in the same case with the third person singular, that is, irregular. Have not seen while has not seen. While in the question, we put the auxiliary at the beginning, followed by the subject, then the past participle of the verb. In the short answers, positive or negative ones, we do not use the whole question or the whole answer, but just the answering word, the subject, and the auxiliary, have in the positive and have not or has not in the negative. Now let's see some of the uses of present perfect. We use the present perfect for past recent events and we do not say when. We don't know or we are not interested when this action happened. Some of the expressions used with the present perfect are just, already, yet, recently, today, this week, this month, etc. for action that started in the past and still continue up to this period of time. We also use present perfect simple to express past experiences. If we refer to the timeline, present perfect happened in this period of time up to now, and especially it is used with this time expressions. Never, ever, or before. We might use superlative plus ever, such as the example, this is the best food I've ever tried, or the number of times until now. I've seen this film 3 times. Present perfect is also used for unfinished situations or situations that started in the past and have not finished. Referring to the timeline, we have this model. In this way, present perfect often answers the question how long to express the duration of the activity. All plus time expression, for example, I've lived in this house all my life, or lately, we have been very busy lately. It means that the action is not finished yet. Let's see now some of the specific uses of time expressions. We often use the present perfect with the word just, yet, and already. Just is used in affirmative sentences to say that something happened very recently, a few minutes ago. For example, I've just seen Peter in the street. We use yet in negative and question sentences. We put it always at the end of the sentence. Remember this. Have you washed the dishes yet? Or I haven't called him yet. And already is used in the affirmative sentences to say that something happened before now, or earlier than we expected. Look at the examples. I have already finished. To talk about life experiences using present perfect, look at the time expressions that we use. Never, ever, and before. When we ask about someone's life experience, we often use the word ever. For example, have you ever read this book? While when we talk about life experiences, we also use the words never or before. The examples might be, she's never been late, or I think I have seen this film before. For unfinished actions, and we mentioned before, how long, for, and since are some time expressions that are used with the present perfect simple. We use how long, for, and since for unfinished situations or situation and action that started in the past and are still true for the time of speaking or are not finished yet. We use how long in question to talk about or to ask about the duration of the length of period during which the action has taken place. How long has she been a teacher? Now let's see the difference between for and since with the present perfect. For is followed by a period of time, for example, for 2 weeks, for 10 years, for 10 days, for a few hours, etc. While since is followed by a moment in the past that defines the beginning of a period of time. Look at the examples. Since I was born, since 10 o'clock, etc. A sentence, we've been here since 4 o'clock. Often, the use of present perfect simple and past simple are confusing in situations or in sentences. Let's make a summary of the differences between these two verb tenses. First of all, the first difference is in their form. Present perfect is followed by subject, have or has, plus the third form, while past simple is subject plus the verb ending in ed or an irregular verb. When we use present perfect, when something happened is not important to us, while when something happened is really important in past simple because it talks about a certain time or a certain moment in the past. Present perfect has connection to the present time because it states an action that is not finished yet, while past simple has no connection to now because it talks about a finished or completed action in a certain period in the past. Also, present perfect defines unfinished time periods. For example, I have eaten 10 pizzas this week and the week is not over yet, while past simple talks about finished time periods. I ate 15 pizzas last week, that it's over. Present perfect also talks for achievements, accomplishments, and experiences, life experiences mostly. And past simple talks only about our past. Look at the examples to make the difference. I have written 2 books and ran 6 marathons, but I have never climbed a mountain. While in past simple, we express something about our past. I was born in England and grew up in Germany. I played the piano for 10 years, but I hated it. Something that is over. Let's practice. Put the verb into the correct form of the present perfect simple. Look at the time expressions. We have here, yet, used at the end of a negative sentences. We haven't planned our holiday yet. Here we have a question in present perfect. Where have you been? We do not have time reference here. He has written 5 letters. We don't know when or is not mentioned. She hasn't seen him for a long time. Here we have the duration of the situation. Has he spoken to his boss? In an unfinished period or time expression. No, he hasn't had the time yet. Here again we have a present perfect negative sentence with a time reference yet used at its end. The second exercise has this request. Using the words in parentheses, complete the text below with the appropriate tenses. Did you see the movie Star Wars? I don't know. I have never seen that movie. We have a description of someone's life experience. Here we have a finished period of time. So, Sam arrived in San Diego a week ago. The verb is in past simple. My best friend and I had known each other for over 15 years, but we still get together once a week. The situation is not over yet. Stinson is a fantastic writer. He wrote 10 very creative short stories in the last year. One day he'll be as famous as Hemingway. Here we have a time reference that is a completed period. And I haven't had this much fun since I was a kid. Here we have the present perfect and the past simple within the same sentence. This was all for this grammar point. Thank you very much for your attention.